Are you ready?
It is.
You ready to see it?
So we'll see you in a day or two, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be back here probably Thursday night or Friday.
Ooh, oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Kevin.
Oh,
Be careful.
you guys, you got to come in.
3, 2, 1, action.
Welcome to our studio.
Woo!
We had all intentions of doing this outside in the beautiful Texas weather,
Yeah, 73 degrees already.
but the wind's blowing again.
And it's supposed to blow until we leave.
Yeah.
So that blows.
So here we are in our studio. I like our studio.
I do too. I do too. I can put him in here. I can shut the door.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
So do you remember that day we took delivery on our fifth wheel?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do you guys remember that day we took delivery on our fifth wheel?
Really, I wasn't going to believe it until I saw it. So,
We waited 5 months.
and a lot of you were with us through the whole
Yes, you were. And we really appreciate you guys
thing.
hanging
Through all the
on.
holidays and the snow. And
Oh my goodness.
fun stuff.
It was a long 5 months.
It was so worth it, though.
It was.
It was.
We've been in our rig for 12 months now. Can you believe we've been in here for 12
I
months?
cannot believe it. It still has that new
New
smell.
smell.
When we walk in, he'll say, "It still smells new."
It does. It does. We ordered this RV through our dealer in Elk City, Oklahoma, Rolling Retreats RV. And we'll get into the reasons why we went with Rolling Retreats and Alicia here in a minute. But the reason we needed to change RVs was because we purchased our side-by-side, our Can-Am.
We built it around our Can-Am.
We did. We did. And so we double-towed with our rig for a year. And we were 84 feet long double-towing.
We were a circus.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of looks, didn't we?
We did.
So we went to Alicia and we said, hey, we're going to change RVs. And we looked at one of the DRV's 12-foot garages, and that just wasn't going to work for us because our Can-Am is exactly 12 feet long. Mm-hmm. So when DRV came out with this MX450, we got really excited.
We did.
Alicia actually flew to Spokane, Washington, where we were staying, and we went and toured the first MX450 that came off the assembly line, which was in northern Idaho at the time. And Alicia walked in and she said, oh, I like this, I like this, I like that, but I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. If we haven't told you already, Alicia is really, really good at seeing things without them being in place.
And I am so grateful because I don't have that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine everything that she designed in here. It was amazing.
So we sat down with Alicia and she told us what she would like to see changed in our floor plan. And so we went through a number of weeks of changing this and changing that and changing this and changing that. And then she submitted it to DRV. And there were some things that DRV said that they were willing to do, and there were other things that DRV said, no, we can't do that, no, we can't do this. So Alicia got together with her husband Slade in their service department and said, can we do this here? Can we do that here? And Slade, being the...
Bless his heart.
he says, sure, we can do that.
He didn't know what he was getting himself into.
So we ended up with a highly customized fifth wheel through Rolling Retreats. And so we thought it was a good time after being in the rig for 12 months to talk about what would we change in our rig. And we're going to get to that here in a little bit, aren't we?
Okay, yep, we are.
So to start off with, there are 5 things when we were shopping for RVs that were mandatory for us. Now, they may not be mandatory for you, but we full-time, this is our home. Sometimes we get stuck in colder weather.
Elk City.
Sometimes we get stuck in hot weather.
Arizona.
So 3 1/4 inch exterior walls was very important to us. Double pane windows for the same reason. Very important for us. And you may ask, well, why 3 1/4 inch exterior walls? The wider the exterior wall, or the more thick it is, the more insulation you can put in. It becomes more soundproof. It becomes better insulated, so the cold doesn't get in, the heat doesn't come in. Same with the double pane windows. So
Right.
those two were the top two on our list. The other thing that were mandatory for us, and we've owned a lot of RVs over the years.
We have.
The other things that were important to us are 17.5-inch wheels and tires, and disc brakes. So we categorize those in the same necessary must-have. We also mandatory. We wanted full body paint
Absolutely.
for a number of reasons, and we wanted a heavy-duty, strong frame. And so if you don't know, a lot of the manufacturers will build a frame on an I-beam frame, and the I-beam has a tendency to flex as you're going down the road. DRV and some other manufacturers use a stacked tubular frame, and the tubular frame does not flex, and so that was very important to us. So those are our 5 must-haves. We have to have 3 1/4 inch exterior walls. We have to have double pane windows. We have to have 17.5-inch wheels and tires with disc brakes, full body paint, and a heavy-duty frame. With those 5 things, we went shopping, and we narrowed it down to 3 RV manufacturers that could fulfill our request. DRV was one of them. And you may ask, well, what made you choose DRV? Well, money.
Money.
Yeah. So what we discovered, or what we believe, and you may disagree with us, but what we believe is that most RV manufacturers are built similar. And the construction in them, as long as you comply with our frame issues and everything else, most of them are very similar in their construction process. So it really came down to price with us.
Right, right.
DRV, it has top quality manufacturing. They do a really good job, and price was far less than the other 2 manufacturers that we had considered.
By a lot.
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
Right. But the main thing, and money is important, especially when you're on a budget, but it's your dealer.
Correct.
You know, if you don't have a dealer that backs you up, that you can call and say, hey, what's going on here, da-da-da. We've been there, done that, and we will never do that again. That's
No.
why we'll never leave Rolling Retreats,
Yeah.
because they have bent over backwards for us, and they're just an amazing company.
Yeah. Yeah, we've as Kelly said, been there, done that with other manufacturers. We actually had an RV a number of years ago. It was another toy hauler that had issues under warranty, and we actually took it in for warranty, and it was there for 3 months. 3 months.
During the peak time of using it.
Yeah, we couldn't use it
No.
during that time.
Yeah.
So, Rolling Retreats, Alicia and Slade, they have throughout the years come up with what they call their pre-delivery inspection, or PDI. Their PDI list, last I checked, and it may be longer now, but last
Probably.
I checked, was 16 pages long. I don't know how many items they've got on there, but they go through each and everything before the customer even takes delivery of the rig. They have discovered through the years some things are missed during the manufacturing process.
And it happens.
It does. And so they go through each and every item on their 16-page list and make sure that it's fixed or repaired or it's correct coming from the manufacturer.
Right.
So as far as we're concerned, your dealer is 95% of the process. Now, let's get back to our custom rig and what we would change. Okay, first things first. First, we need to talk about the toy hauler.
Yes. Pluses and minuses.
Pluses and minuses. There are pluses and minuses to the toy hauler, and that's what we had to go through when we were deciding what we were going to do. We
Yes.
had a DRV 38 RSSA and absolutely positively loved that floor plan.
We loved it. That's why we were thinking about a toy hauler, JX450 was the one I wanted, which is the same floor plan as our RS
38 RSSA.
as our 38 RSSA, but it only had a 10-foot garage. So that was out of the books right there, which is sad. But if it had a 13-foot garage in 10 DRV, that would have been the one we chose.
Yeah, but it would have made it huge. Would have made it 48 foot long.
Yeah, but we were huge when we were double towing, so, you know. Anyway.
So the toy hauler has trade-offs. You lose living space when you get a toy hauler. Obviously, the 13-foot garage comes in a 45-foot coach, and so we're losing living space when you take away the garage. So that's where Alicia came in, actually. So since we lost living space, we gained garage space. But when we're parked, we use this garage, as you can see right now, as part of our living space. It becomes our studio, our
Yes.
office. Just I can come out here and watch a basketball game while Kelly watches something in the other room, or if she's talking to one of the kids on the phone, she can come out here and get her quiet time while I'm still out there watching TV, whatever the case may be. So we use our garage as living space. We unload the Can-Am when we get to our destination, as long as it's not just an overnight or a couple nights.
Right, right.
And then we have a roll-down carpet that we use. We have our portable desks that we use. We have our portable chairs that we use. And we set up our office, and here
Hey,
we are.
Works for us.
It does. It does. So there are pluses and minuses and trade-offs to the toy hauler, and that's one of the reasons we did the modifications on here to make the living area more livable,
That's right.
if you will.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go take a look and see how we feel about our customization and what we might do different. Let's start in the garage. One of the biggest things that we did to customize this rig was to build custom cabinets in the garage. Now, we worked with Alicia on this because we were losing living space, and because we full-time in our rig. Storage space is a huge deal in an RV when you're full-timing. So we wanted to find some way to create more storage since we were losing our living space, and Alicia hit it out of the park. We had these custom wood cabinets built at the factory, and they hold a bunch. We had them put on this side, and we had them put on this side. Now, I will tell you, when I bring the Can-Am in and get in and out of the Can-Am, this cabinet right here is low enough that I really have to duck to get out of the Can-Am. But it's doable. I would much rather duck and have to work around the cabinet than lose this living space. So these cabinets are deep enough, we can stuff them. I mean, we've got our 2 motorcycle helmets in here. All of our Can-Am gear is in this space right here. Plus, we've got office supplies, we've got extra canned goods, we've got all kinds of things in these cabinets. So these cabinets were a definite plus. The other custom thing that we did in the garage, normally a toy hauler comes with outdoor speakers and a stereo and a DVD player for the TV inside the garage. We don't use outdoor speakers, and we don't use a DVD player. We stream most of our TV. So we really didn't need that stereo DVD player. But the cabinet that it was in gave us an opportunity to remove the DVD player, delete the outdoor speakers, and we had the factory put in an AC outlet inside here. And now this has become our clutter collector. If you've got even a sticks and bricks, you know, if you've got camera gear and you've got phones and you've got a bunch of stuff, smartwatches, anything that needs to be charged on a regular basis, it becomes a clutter collector wherever your charging station is. We now use this as our charging station, and we put all of our camera gear up here, all of our batteries. It's just neat, clean, and we would do this again in a heartbeat. This is something that I actually did. Slade and the guys could have done it, but what I did is I took a piece of trim that matched our wood cabinets. I mounted it to the wall. This was dead space behind this man door. So I mounted a piece of trim up here, and we found some hooks at Hobby Lobby and mounted them. And now, well, you know I wear hats. And rain jackets are a pain when you come in out of the rain or out of the weather. So we now have a place where we can hang our hats, we can hang our rain gear, and our umbrella fits up here. It's just this, like I say, this was dead space, and we are so happy we did this. The last thing that we want to talk about in the garage is this cutout. We told you when we took delivery that the cutout wasn't exactly what we thought it was going to be. We thought this cutout was going to be all the way to the ceiling. And some of you that are new to our channel might wonder, well, why have you got this cutout in the garage? Our Can-Am is 12 feet from tip to toe. This is a 13-foot garage, but you lose a lot of space with the deck railing and the four-season doors in the rear. So we weren't quite sure that our Can-Am was actually going to fit in this garage. So what we did is we had them push this cutout 6 inches into the living area, and we envisioned at the time that it was going to go all the way to the ceiling, and so we thought that we would do a shiplap finish on the living side of this cutout, and that would give us a place to maybe put some shelves or whatever, and give us extra room, extra buffer room for the Can-Am if we needed it. Turns out we didn't need it. We've got plenty of room. We've got 4 or 5 inches on the back, we've got a couple inches on the front, and we're good. So, but the finish on the living side of this was so beautiful. We are so happy they did this.
Moving on to the living area. Here in the original MX450, the refrigerator was here. And when Alicia saw that, she says, oh, let's take this and put it over here. And over here is where we had the love seat, and a window was there. So we deleted the love seat, we deleted the window, and she was able to build me a wonderful small appliance garage. They call it a garage. And that held all of my small appliances that was in the pantry in our previous rig. So that was a huge thing for me. Nothing moves, everything stays the same, it's beautiful. And we were able to add these 2 windows, which opened it up, gave us better airflow, and it just worked out so well. One of the things that we would change if we had a chance to was bring this right to the edge of the window frame. It would give us a little bit more extra space, but really it works out so well right now, it's not that big of a deal. And as Jim was talking previously, when we have the 6-inch jet out, this is what was made for it. It's my favorite part of the kitchen. I love this. It gives me an opportunity to have my little knickknacks here, or my diffuser sits on there too really nicely. And with this extra wall, Alicia was able to give us more storage for coffee cups, paper goods, and that. They're not real deep, but they're deep enough for the extra storage. Let's talk about my sink. This is a granite composite sink. It is huge, and I just love it. When we first ordered our rig, we knew that we did not want to have the metal sinks. We had a metal sink in our previous rig, and we loved it. It was really a nice, sturdy, heavy-duty one. But the new ones seemed to dimple and scratch super easy. So Alicia, in her magic, found this online and got it for me. And I just love it. It's worth all the space that's on my countertop. When the rig came, it came with a full-size oven and stovetop. It was pretty big for this little space, and I never used the oven. So I asked her if it was okay if we could take that out, add 3 drawers, which I needed the space, and put some kind of cooktop on top. And I tell you, it was hard for me because I didn't know which one I wanted. Because I had a freestanding induction burner, and I loved it, and I could use it anytime I was plugged in. But then I wanted my propane because we boondock. And I knew that we wouldn't be able to use this while we boondock. And again, she was looking online and texted this to me, and I said, yes, it's perfect. I didn't have to make that decision of one or the other. And I tell you guys, it's pretty awesome. Even if I'm plugged in and I need to cook a lot, I can still use these. It's just amazing. So this is a plus that I absolutely am so happy with. When we decided to put the fridge here, we had a lot of skepticism from the people at DRV and some of you. And they said, why would you put a refrigerator in your living room? If you really look around here, everything's in our living room, you know, our kitchen, our sink, and everything. But I tell you, this is the best thing, and I wouldn't change it. It sits back, it's not in the way, and we were able to have Slade and his guys do some magic into our coffee bar, extra deep storage space up here, and even a spice rack over here for me.
Since we had the refrigerator moved to the front of the living area, that opened up this whole slide for whatever we wanted to do. Now, we did tell Alicia we wanted as many cabinets as they could provide for us to store, and as Kelly previously said, this appliance garage, this small appliance garage, is one of the best things we've ever had. But if you didn't need this storage, you could put a full couch or sofa in this space with a small, maybe a couple of small cabinets on each side as end tables. It just really opened up this slide to whatever you want. If you wanted to leave a small cabinet in here and put a love seat or a small love seat in here, you could do that. You could put in the theater type seating that they're putting in RVs now with recliners. Problem with the recliners for me is because I'm so tall, the recliners hit me about mid-calf, and I just get sore. I really don't fit in a normal recliner. So that's why we decided to go with these standalone chairs. And so far we're really happy. Now, Kelly has mentioned she doesn't necessarily like the ottoman. This company also makes the same chair with a recliner, which she doesn't have a problem sitting in. So we could have done that too. We could have got her a recliner and me one with an ottoman, and everything would have been great. But again, we're very happy with the choice we made in this slide, but it becomes an open palette for you. While we're talking about the slide, let's talk about something else we did up here. We asked DRV, normally they taper these cabinets, so they will taper them from the outside, drop this one a little bit more, drop this one in, start out, and then come full out. We asked them to build this cabinet space completely the same all the way across, and here's where we messed up. We use the Costco style containers for storage inside these cabinets, and we measured the containers, and they measured out at 16 inches. So we told DRV we wanted these to be 16 inches all the way across and space out our overhead lighting. Well, we should have asked them to make them 16 inches inside, which would have given probably another 2 inches on the outside, which wouldn't have been a big deal. And then we could have put our containers in there and they would have slid, because this is all open pass-through storage. And those containers could have slid through and they could have gone in the middle of the cabinet doors. Not a big deal, but if we were doing it again, we would have had them bring these out another 2 inches to probably 18 inches.
Storage, storage, storage. I need my storage. When this first came to Rolling Retreats, this was a blank wall. And it was because they didn't know what we were doing in here, especially in the front room. But anyway, the boys, Travis, did an amazing job at Rolling Retreats and made this for me. It is beyond my expectations for sure. It is so deep. As you can see, this is pretty long. And so the storage goes all the way in the back, and it's very deep. and everything has a place, and it is the best thing ever.
Well, what'd you think?
I love it.
12 months on the road, would you change anything?
It has gone by so fast, it just doesn't seem like a year. And no, I don't think I would. I just love everything about it. Just love it.
Yeah. Alicia, she hit it out of the park with this one. DRV did a great job on the floor plan. 13-foot garage. The living space was usable. And with Alicia's changes and a highly customized, like I say, it took us 2 months to customize it at the dealer once it arrived.
Yeah, yeah.
But they really, really did a nice job, and we're so happy with it. Would we change anything? Just a couple of minor things. You know, the cabinets we would move out just a little bit. The small appliance garage we would move out just a little bit. Other than that, we would not change a thing.
Right.
This rig has been perfect, and it's met all of our expectations.
Absolutely. And even, the cabinets that we wanted to maybe pull out 2 inches, it still works.
Yeah, it's doable.
Yeah.
Those are just the little things that we've come up with. So anyway, we want to thank Alicia and thank Slade and the crew at Rolling Retreats for doing such a great job. We want to thank DRV for building such a quality unit.
Yes.
We're so happy with the way it turned out, and hopefully that, now that they've seen the floor plan and how we feel about it 12 months later, maybe they'll make some changes. Who knows?
That would be really cool.
The Sweet Travels 450.
I know. Sounds good to me. And a lot of people want it.
Yeah. So, we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks for coming along, guys. Thanks for coming along on our adventures. We hope you found this enjoyable. And from Bridgeport, Texas,
It all starts with an idea.
and we made our idea real. So thanks for coming along, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.